Flip of the coin, two former teammates at USF on the left, Colt captain Gino Marchetti on the right, Big Bob St. Clair.
Those were the years, unbelievable. Yep, I'm a native son, and having all my football career here in this particular stadium is just unreal.
Worst weather in 49er Kezar history greets a sellout crowd of 60,000, and it's a bad break for Red Hickey's tricky shotgun offense and speedy backs against a hard-running Packer team whose style is made for mud, with power runners Jim Taylor and scoring champ Paul Hornung. Worst possible conditions for this key game between the two first-place teams. There's no score through 28 minutes of the first half.
I'm here with Bob St. Clair at Bob St. Clair Stadium, formerly known as Kezar Stadium here in San Francisco, California. We're in the locker room here, and it's kind of giving me goose pimples, just feeling like all the energy that was here before in the great 49er days and the great days when Bob played for Polytech, undefeated his 3 years there, and playing all the home games at USF in the 1951 undefeated season. How does it feel, Bob, to be back here in the locker room?
It hasn't changed. It's like going back in time. The benches are the same height, they're really low. The trainer's table is over there, and everything is just the same. The showers, the bathroom facilities. I remember that, in fact, it's almost deja vu, and the coach would be walking back and forth and saying a team, won't be beat, can't be beat, and that kind of stuff, and giving pep talks, and God, and our lockers and everything. And my God, you compare that to today's when they have telephones and safes and everything else in there. I can remember laying down, getting taped up my ankles and wrists, whatever was necessary. This is when anytime we got hurt, this was the table that they brought us in on and shot us up with Novocaine or whatever they had to do with us. Yeah, I'll never forget this. This brings back fond memories. Broke my shoulder one time, laid down here. I remember, lost my 5 teeth in that one play, came in here, got all shot up. Yeah, I remember distinctly. This was it. The small benches and everything's the same. It's just like a museum in here. It just brings back such great memories of when I played here at Poly High and USF up the hill and the college, and then with all those years with the 49ers. God, and it was all in here. This is just great. This was our shower. Showers in here, and then over here on this side was the bathroom facilities, the toilets and the sinks and so forth. But this main area here was our showers, and we would take turns in coming in here. And, naturally we all couldn't fit at the same time. We would take turns at the, some of the guys would undress more quickly than others, and they'd come right in and shower and so forth. And you'd always get out real quick because guys are waiting. Yep. God, amazing. Diagram the plays and everything. St. Clair, goddammit, you were supposed to be over here, not there. Billy, Wilson, you should be here. Gordy, now wait a minute. Why, when you come back like that, make sure that we block, the two guys, Frank Morsey and the center, you've got to take in case they stunt this way and that way, all right? pick up the man that's free. They did that. That's what the way they did it.
It's truly fine. Burgermeister, Burgermeister, it's so light and bold and clear. Burgermeister, Burgermeister, it's a truly fine pale beer.
Bergie is made the long, slow, natural way. Next time you buy beer, buy Burgermeister.
Hello, fans. And Foster, your Burgermeister sportscaster, speaking for the beer that's made the long, slow, natural way. Ready to bring you those great moments of the San Francisco 49ers during the 1953 season. Now, let's meet some of the players. Tackle Bob St. Clair.
Sing out the song.
Halfback Billy Nixon.
Burgermeister.
A great pass-catching end, Billy Wilson, San Jose State College. N. Gordy Soltaw, 2-year scoring champion. Halfback Joe Arenas led the league in kickoff returns. Quarterback Y.A. Tittle threw 20 touchdown passes. Football's greatest runner, Hugh McElhenney.
And now watch the sideline shenanigans by George Papa Bear Hallis. The 49er fans howl at Hallis. He ignores them to urge his team on. And the Bears respond.
We were playing the Chicago Bears. I'll never forget it. And it was just before half, and we were behind by a touchdown, but we were moving the ball, and we had a play where I led Hugh McElhenney, a great Hall of Fame back, around the end, and I made a block. Mac went down about 50 yards, right in front of the bench of the Bears, and the time was running out. So the Bears, when they tackled him, they tried to hold him down, and he was trying to get up, pushing and shoving, and he kicked someone to try to get him off of him. And as he did that, and then he tried to get up, and the guy came off the bench, of the Bear bench, with an overcoat on and a hat and glasses and everything. He got off the bench and ran out and kicked my player, McElhenney, right in the ass. And just as the guy turned around to try to get back off the field, I whacked him on the side of the head, knocked his glasses off and his hat. He fell on the ground. The whole Bear, all of the Bears came off the bench and just jumped on me. We had a big free-for-all. And the guy I hit was the famous coach of the Bears, George Hallis. And I'll never forget it. And that year, after the season was over, I heard that he had tried to trade for me. He said, I want that crazy guy. I want him on my team.
Behind the blocking of Nick Bayer, 67, Johnson, 53, and St. Clair, number 79, Perry goes through a big hole all the way to a 49er touchdown. With Big Bob St. Clair opening a tremendous hole, Perry goes into the end zone for a touchdown to give the 49ers a 28-14 lead.
And back then, they didn't have all this padding either.
No, they didn't have padding like this. No, it was just all wood. It was just two wooden posts.
Now, did any of the players, after they got a little ding, did they ever mistake that wood for a player?
I can remember one time when Joe Perry, a real fast quarterback, a fullback, he came, Y.A. Tittle called a play. We were right on about the 1 yard line, and he called a play right over me, and it was a trap play and give the ball to Joe Perry to go in and score, hopefully. He snapped the ball, Tittle snapped the ball, handed off to Perry, the trap worked, Perry went flying through, bang, he ran smack dab into the goalpost, head on, bounced back a little bit and then fell into the end zone for a touchdown. I reached over and I grabbed him and picked him up, and I was congratulating him, and I said, great, great, Joe, great. And he looked at me and his eyes were all glazed and everything, and he was shaking his head, and he goes, Bob, that's a mighty fine hole you opened up in there. He said, but tell me one thing, which one of these guys missed that linebacker?
I thought it was one of these bastards at that point.
Well, it was. I didn't want to say that.
Y.A. Tittle was your roommate your first year, and at first, as you told me before, you were pretty excited that they put you with the superstar of the team, and then you found out that there was a little cloud in that silver lining there.
Yes, because Y.A. is an asthmatic, and he would wheeze at night. and he would keep everybody awake, and no one wanted to room with him, that's for sure. So they put a lowly rookie in with him. And as you know, as I said, the trainer came to me and said, "Hey, now Bob, you know, you look a little sleepy. You got to get some rest. What the hell's wrong? Come on, we want you to make the team." And I said, "Okay." So I came up with a little scheme. That night, the coach, who was Buck Shore from Santa Clara at that time, Buck Shore was our first coach. He walked down, you know, into the room. We were practicing down in Menlo Park. He walked down into the room, and he said why he was talking to him about what the quarterback's going to be doing, you know, the next day, blah 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 blah, on and on. Well, and he said, "Okay, bet check, everything's fine. You guys, we're going to get up at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and okay, we'll see you tomorrow. I'll turn out the light." I said, "No, Coach, let me do it." I got up and I turned out the light. I said, "I'd like to get a drink of water." He said, "Oh yeah, okay, okay." So I got up and I played like there was a little sink there. We had beds on the opposite sides of the room, and I played like I was drinking water, and I didn't. I just turned the water on. I clicked the light off. I turned around and went over to his side of the room and in his bed, and I put my hand under the covers, and I patted him on his bare fanny, and I kissed him on his bare head, and whispered in his ear, "Good night, Y," and I ran and I jumped into my bed. He never slept a wink all night, but I did.
Well, we're coming through the tunnel where Bob went through many times in his high school and college and professional career, but it wasn't always good. One time Bob went through the tunnel, and John Brody was getting booed at the time, and Bob, being the captain and the leader he was, decided to step up there first. And Bob, why don't you let us know what happened?
Well, actually, I didn't really volunteer, to tell you the truth, but what happened was John said, "Hey Bob, John Brody said, Bob, do me a favor, will you go out first, you know, because we had just lost a couple of games there, and you know, things weren't going very well for us." And I said, "Okay, yeah, let me go first." So they announced me first coming out of the tunnel, and all of the stands, you know, hell, we had about 60,000 people here. And as I came running out of the tunnel here, I got out to the field, and the track was here. There's the track going around Kezar on the field, and there was a lip where the turf started. And I was listening to all the boos the people started booing and everything else. And I hit my foot and caught it and went sprawling out into the end zone and fell down. Everybody started laughing like hell. Immediately they introduced John Brody, and everybody was still laughing at me trying to get up. When I was starting to think of what I should say about how I feel being inducted in football's Hall of Fame, I said to myself, "Bob, what you have to do is be humble, gracious, dignified, and make a sophisticated appearance." I think the best way I can to describe my feeling right now is if you relate to the movie Rocky, and you remember Sylvester Stallone running, training in the streets of Philadelphia, and the music was building up, and he came to the federal steps, and he sprinted up those federal steps. The music reached the crescendo, and he raised his hands up high and said, "I made it." That's the way I feel. Yeah. Aha.